Hello, learners.
Welcome to F2 Feel Fluent online spoken English classes.
Today we are going to see why your English isn't improving. You have tried many classes, you're listening to many English videos, but still you feel that your English isn't improving. You're not getting that perfection, you're not getting that fluency. Let's see what are those problems. Today we are going to discuss the 8 points which I'm going to tell you where you should improve. First point, you have to remember that you need to spend a minimum time for English practice. Daily you have to dedicate some time for English learning, because as you're going to be consistent with the learning, it's going to have the impression on that. So it's very necessary that you need to spend some time from your daily routine. Minimum you need to have 30 minutes of daily practice for English. Whatever you're going to take efforts, you have to minimum take out 30 minutes for the practice. Second point is you need to apply English to your real life situations. Whenever you are learning English, you feel that it is not related to your real life situations. You need to focus that English language is like your other native languages also. So you should have to relate the language of English with your real life also. English is everywhere you can see. You can, if you're working or even if you're not working also, if you're working, you will need it in your professional working professionalism. Talk to your clients. It's very necessary for your email drafting, your correspondence which you're doing with your company. And also, if you're not working though, it will be needed when you're talking to some customer care. It will be needed when you're talking to your children's teachers. The communication is very much important. And as it is like English language is everywhere, it's very necessary for every person to learn this communication skill. Third point is that this kind of like inferiority complex in everyone's mind that they think is that you have to just learn the grammar. You have to by heart the grammar. It's nothing like that. You don't need to go by the grammar every time. Yes, grammar is needed when you have to be correctly speaking, when you have to follow the rules of the grammar, when you're speaking also. But it's not that you have to learn the complete grammar. For spoken English, it is not necessary to learn each and every part of grammar. Grammar is required when you are learning to write English. But when it's coming to part of speaking, it is required to learn some part of grammar. So don't go on the focus of learning the whole grammar. Next point is that I would like to tell you that you're afraid of making mistakes. Like if suppose you're learning any of the skills, it's okay when you're making mistakes, because a person learns from his mistakes only. So it is commonly okay that it's a person, if a person is making mistakes, you will learn from it. So even though if you're speaking in English and if you're making mistake, that is okay. So don't be so afraid or don't get scared when you're speaking in English. One thing is that you don't have the confidence of speaking in English. Make it possible that you have that confidence. Even though if you're learning the spoken English classes also, if you're not that confident to face the camera, so it is not possible to have you the enough confidence to talk to any person in real life also. So it is very much important for every person to have confidence. Next point is you need a good plan to learn English. You have to decide or make a timetable for how you're going to learn the English language. You need to have a journey process, like first what you're going to learn, from where you're going to learn, what is the procedure you're going to follow. This all is included in a good plan of learning English. It's not that just that you're going to pick up any book and start reading and you'll be fluent in the next moment. So there's a time period, it will need some time to go through a journey of process of learning English. Sixth point is that you have to be consistent, because if you're going to be consistent in any work, you'll be skilled. So for learning, even though in every language, you have to be consistently studying. Studying is what you have to do a lot of practice. You have to learn things new which you don't know. You need to learn the vocabularies. You need to learn some grammar. You need to learn some phrases which are commonly used. So such kind of consistency you have to keep in your mind, that you have to learn English, you have to achieve the fluency. So these all things you have to consistently studying on. Seventh point is that everyone feels that why I need English. It's really a wrong way of thinking. Everyone needs English. It is as important as your native language. Because if you're not knowing English, if you're going somewhere, if you're working, because if you're not going to have a good communication skills, it is indirectly going to hamper your progress. So it is very much important for everyone to learn English. If suppose you're going for a tour in foreign countries, they are not going to understand your native languages. So this is important that you should learn English. So if you're not going to communicate in the native language of yours, you can communicate at least in English over there. It's not like that every part of the country knows Hindi, knows Marathi. Other parts of the countries or other part of the world, they just rely on English, as English is a universal language which is spoken all over the world. So English is a must. And it is important for the progress of your professional career. Those who think that we don't need to learn English, I would like to give an example. Like, if suppose there is a homemaker, she doesn't feel that I really don't need English, but how long she's going to be at home? Some or the other time she is going to go out somewhere to work, or there would be a need of taking the studies of their children or meeting their teachers. She will need to talk them with English. So that's very much important for every homemaker, that she is going to have the need for English. And it is much more needed for the professional career makers. To talk with their colleagues, they have to talk with their clients, their superiors. The correspondence they have to make, that is not going to be in the native language. We don't correspond in our native language, like Hindi, Marathi, or any other language, but we do communicate with others in English only. Whatever the things you see on mobile, or whatever the matter you see, the textual part is in English only. Most of the time people go on reading in English. They don't prefer reading it in Marathi or Hindi or any other kind of like native language. You mostly rely on your native language. This is the last point which I want to describe you. Native language is only limited to your region. That's it. Beyond your region, there's the other language, because the language, it changes after 20 miles. So if you are going beyond your region, beyond your state, every time there will be a different language. So every time, if it is possible for you to learn the language, so it's better to learn English. So this language is which is universal, which will make you help to talk or to communicate people with an ease. So don't rely on your native languages. Learn such a language which is going to make you communicable around the world. And in the last, I would like to tell you that we are here to make you the practice which is needed for every of your point. Like if it's in professional life, if it's in your homemaker thing, everywhere if you are needing, we are there to help you out. Just reach us at the contact number mentioned in the description, and also join our classes F2 Feel Fluent. And do subscribe our YouTube channel to get the daily updates.